So hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Nyani. So if you don't know that by now, I am a trainer, facilitator, and life purpose coach. And my channel is all about my passions, which include spirituality, family, food, travel, and self-development. So before I start with today's video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I am humbled that there's actually people who are interested in this type of content. My intention for this channel was not only to share my passions, right, but also to make the viewer ask or ponder upon some issues, right, and then decide whether there's some changes that they need to do or not. So I'm really grateful for the comments, and I will keep on sharing whatever information I believe people should have access to. So thank you so much. Much appreciated. So today I want to talk about intention. I know it seems like just a simple word, but I believe that there's more to it, right? And I want to touch on what exactly is intention, why is it important, and how does one get to set intentions or his or her intentions. I will also share a story that's related to intention with you that is a real life story that happened to me. So stay tuned. Now let's look at what is intention. According to the dictionary, intention is an aim or a plan. It's as simple as that. But then in psychology, the definition is a bit broader. They describe intention as a prior conscious decision to perform a behavior or a task. That's how psychology describes intention. Some examples of an intention is when someone says, well, I intend to make sure that I'm in a positive environment and I'm surrounded with positive people. That's an intention. My intention for the channel is to share as much knowledge as possible, but also to have the viewer ponder and ask themselves deeper questions. That's an example of my intention. So it could be anything. Your intention could be related to your health, to your career. It could be anything. I then looked up the opposites of the word intention, and I found it says it's aimlessness. So, and then I remembered that I actually touched on that on my video regarding vision boards, about how important it is to have to not just be floating and going with the flow, right? To have a vision. So when intention is not there, it seems like one is just going with the flow aimlessly. So I found that really interesting, that actually the opposite of intention is aimlessness. So something to think about, right? Now let's look at why intention is important. Why do we even have to bother about discussing this topic regarding intention? There's a few things I would like to share why it's important. Firstly, intention gives you a purpose. So, like I said earlier, the opposite is aimlessness. So, if you have an intention, it helps your mind focus on a certain purpose, right? So that's one thing. Another thing, intention is not just a to-do list, but it's the why you need to do those certain tasks, right? I once had saw an interview with Oprah where she was describing that earlier in the day in her TV show, they would just have any topics, anybody would just pitch a topic and they would just do it. But later on in her life, or later in the TV show, she asked herself, I'm not sure what exactly happened, but something triggered her decision, change of mind, right? So she asked herself, in fact, she asked the staff, if anybody wants to pitch a topic, right, for the show, they need to tell her what is their intention, right? Because if your topic, for example, is just for show or have no deeper or good intent behind it, then she would not accept the topic. So that made me think really how important being intentional about everything that you do. And this is just an example that Oprah did with her show, where if someone had a topic they wanted to pitch, she would ask them, what is your intention? Why do you want to discuss this issue? And then a person needs to explain what is the intention. And usually it's for the benefits of others, right? And yeah, so that's just an example of how important it is to be intentional about everything, whether it's work, whether it's your health, whatever it is. We need to be intentional about the things we do. Also, setting intentions, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, or even a yearly, because a vision board can be part of your intentions. You're being intentional about your goals, right? It really helps you focus and be productive when you have an intention behind a specific task. Um, Now you might ask, how do I set intentions? So let's go through that. Firstly, you need to identify a specific goal or a desire inside of you, right? Because you must have some goal or a desire. So an example of a goal is maybe you want to buy a car, or maybe an example of a desire would be you want to go on holiday, right? So that is setting a goal or a desire. Now, the next step is to be clear on the why, right? Why do you want to buy a car? Why do you want to go on holiday? And at this point, you need to be honest with yourself, right? If you want to buy a car because it makes it easier to travel from A to B, then that's your reason. If you want to go on holiday because you feel that your body, your soul needs a break, then that's your reason. The important part here is to be honest with yourself, right? And say the exact truth, the exact why you want that car or you want to go on that holiday. Step three will then mean now you need to do actionable steps. So everything needs action. Otherwise, it just hangs in the air, right? So you need to compile actionable steps, right? Where you identify, how do I now get this car, right? Does it mean I need to save up? Does it mean I need to maybe go get a loan? What is it that I need to do? What action do I need to take, right? For a holiday, the example of a holiday, does it mean I need to start maybe researching how much it will cost, where I want to go, how long do I need to save up? Whatever it is, you need to now act. You need to act on it, do some action. If it is research, you do research. If it's planning, you plan. Whatever it is, you need to have some actionable steps so that it's not just up in the air, right? Now, the fourth thing is all about mindset that you need to do. So you need to remove all negative thinking, right? And be positive about your intention. I guess this is the most important step, because if you are thinking, no, maybe this is not possible, I won't be able to afford this car, I won't be able to afford this holiday, chances are then you won't, right? So making sure that your mind is on a positive state is really important. You also then need to do daily tasks, right? So there's some things that actually need daily tasks, that speaks to this bigger goal or this bigger intention. So For example, if you need to send an email to this car dealership and ask, about the finances, whatever it is, then put that, be intentional about that. So that also is very helpful. It's important. Then the last thing is to let it go. Have faith, right? Have faith in the higher power that things will work out. So a quote from the book The Alchemist says, and when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve that. So I really believe that when you want something, the higher power, God, whatever you call it, will help you get there. So you need to have faith. Now, let me tell you about my story and how I link it with intention and the importance of being truthful, right? And your why it's important. So, I'll just shorten the story. I had been retrenched, my company I worked for, and I stayed at home for a while. After that, I think for about a year, because I had a little baby at the time also. And I think one day I just decided, you know what, let me apply for jobs. I've always believed that when I focus and I am intentional and I say I'm looking for a specific job, I go out there and do it and it happens, right? So I then go online, look at jobs and apply for a couple of jobs, right? Then I get a call back. So I got an interview. It was from a company in Germany. It is BASF. I'm not sure if you guys know about the company, but they are the world's global chemical producer. So it was a big deal. But to be honest, I've always been, I've always loved and been fortunate to work for global companies. So it wasn't really something new. The only new thing was the fact that I needed to be in Germany. Okay, fast forward, the company does everything. I get the job, by the way, got offered a job, good salary, good perks. The company does the whole thing, accommodation, everything is ready, right? But then my visa was not approved. It was a time when it was winter in Germany. It was December that time. It was December that time, and the COVID infections were skyrocketing in Europe, in Germany even. So I guess the government didn't want anybody coming in. They said, I can do this job from where I am. It is an actual fact, a global role. So they were not wrong in a way, right? But the company really wanted a person there because they were setting up a new team. So in the end, I didn't get a job. Bummer. Well, I felt horrible actually. But when I look back, in fact, I had a conversation like a couple of weeks later with a friend of mine, and she was like, okay, cool. So let's look at it. What kind of job was it, right? And then I realized it's the same job I did at the previous company. So knowing myself, really, it's something that I've done. I was probably going to be bored, right? But why did I want this job? In actual fact, I then realized I wanted it because it was abroad. I haven't been outside of the country. And when I looked at the job, I thought, I'll get an opportunity to see what's out there and to get to explore Europe because my goal, part of my dreams was to move to Europe at some point in my life. So in essence, now, if you think about intention, My intention was, I was not truthful about that role. I wasn't going to be beneficial to the company. I was being unfair to them. My intention was moving abroad, global role. I mean, moving and exploring Europe. It wasn't the job. So, in a way, now that I looked at it, later on when I looked at it, I realized my intention was in the wrong place. My intention was not to go there and make the best of the role and actually have positive impact on the company and all of that. No, it was on the other side. Now you see how when your intention is not, you're not being, I wasn't true to myself. um at that time obviously it didn't feel like that, but I wasn't true to myself. Yeah, so there is a quote by Brenna Yovanov. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But she says, intention is one of the most powerful forces there is. What you mean when you do a thing will always determine the outcome. Now, looking at my story and looking at the outcome, as much as I got the job, but my intention was in the wrong place. I wasn't going in to gain experience in the job or to learn more, that type of thing. It was on the other side. So then you ask yourself, was that partly the reason? The outcome was something else, type of thing. So yeah, so think about those times when things didn't happen and try to recall or remember what was your true intention behind that specific thing. I hope I'm making sense. And if you have anything to share regarding this, please feel free to do so. I have a few books I would like to recommend regarding intention. First book is by Wayne Dyer. It's called The Power of Intention. Wayne was a beautiful soul. He's no longer with us. Yeah, so have a look at that book, The Power of Intention. The second book is by Andrew Wallas, How to Tap into the Most Underrated Power of the Universe. That's by Andrew Wallas. Yeah, so that's all from me today. My challenge is to you is that when you have a desire or a goal, sit with it, think about your why, and be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. The reason why you want that specific thing, the reason why you have that specific desire, and just be true to yourself. And that's all from me today. I wish you have a good day. Remember to always follow your passions and try to have fun along the way. And thank you again for being here. Thank you to all those who have subscribed. Hopefully, there'll be more content coming through that will be useful and helpful and help you ponder and think deeper. All right, then. Thank you. Bye.